Saving 6% commission sounds amazing. On a $500,000 home, that's $30,000 in your pocket. Why wouldn't you want that? But here's the reality check. Most for sale by owner listings fail not because of the house, but because of the process. If you want to keep that commission without losing your mind, you need a strategy, not just a for sale sign. Today, I'm walking you through the exact preparation checklist to make sure your for sale by owner is a profit, not a nightmare. You know how real estate agents always say, if you try to sell your home yourself, you're going to leave money on the table, right? Well, honestly, sometimes they say that just to scare you, but sometimes they're right. Here's the thing. I'm an agent. I've been doing this for 25 years with over 1,000 homes sold. Usually people in my position guard the secrets of the trade like it's the nuclear launch code. But I looked at the market, looked at the rising costs for people in Utah, and decided that just didn't sit right with me. So I wanted to give you some tips on how you can make your for sale by owner successful. If you want to sell for sale by owner or FSBO, you deserve the actual playbook, not the watered down version. I'm talking about how to price so you don't rot on the market, why listing on a Thursday changes the algorithm, and why a $50 laser measure might save you from a lawsuit. It's a lot to cover, so I've compiled a checklist and a warning sign into a free guide called Is Selling For Sale by Owner Right For You? The link is in the pinned comment down below. Download it because you're going to want to follow along. So in the first section, we want to talk about pricing. Why is pricing critical and why so many people screw it up? So a lot of people think that you can just go out there and price it at whatever and it's going to sell quickly, but that's not the truth in this market. So honestly, if you price it wrong, this is the kiss of death. That's what we call overpricing. I see so many FSBO sellers look at his estimate and think that's money in the bank. But here's the irony. A computer algorithm has never walked through your living room. It doesn't know your view and it doesn't smell your cat. To price correctly, you need to use what I call the 3-1 rule. So here's exactly how it works. You find 3 active competitors in your neighborhood. These are the houses you are fighting against. Then you find the 1 sold comparable that closed in the last 60 days, hopefully. Maybe you might have to go out to 90 days. You have to beat the 3 active ones in value, and you have to match the 1 sold one on data. Your price is based on what your neighbor is asking. You're chasing a ghost. You need to be priced on what the bank will actually appraise and what people will actually pay. Because here's the kicker. Mentioned in step 2 of my guide. If you get a buyer, say at $500,000, but the appraiser says $480,000, that deal is dead unless you drop the price. Do you have the data to fight the appraiser? If not, you're just gambling. Number 2 is going to be marketing like a machine. You know, people think marketing is just sticking a sign in the front yard and posting on Facebook. But we live in a digital world, my friends. If you aren't optimizing for the algorithm, you're invisible. Let me let you in on an industry secret, the Thursday launch. Most FSBO sellers list on Friday or Saturday. That's a big mistake. If you list on a Thursday, the major sites like Zillow and Realtor.com have 24 hours to index your home. By Friday morning, when serious buyers get the new home alert, emails you are in the top of their inbox are the first one they're going to see. And let's talk about visual appeal. In the guide, I asked, do you know what to fix and what to skip? If you have $1,000 to spend, do not replace the carpet in the spare bedroom. Spend half of that money on a professional photographer and a twilight edit for your main exterior photo. Data shows that homes with professional photography get 61% more views. Putting up dark photos taken with a tablet is like showing up to a job interview in sweatpants. Just don't do it. You're telling the market, I don't really take this seriously, and the market will respond by giving you lowball offers. Number 3, the legal minefield. This is where the fear usually kicks in. And honestly, it should. One of the most common lawsuits in real estate comes from the seller's property condition disclosure. So in Utah and in most states, silence gets you sued. You cannot hide that basement leak from 2015. You have to disclose it. You have to disclose everything. But here's a pro tip that most FSBO guys leave out. Buy a laser measure. Why? Because if you list your home for 2,500 square feet, and because that's what the tax records say, but it's actually 2,350, you just opened yourself up to a huge lawsuit after closing for misrepresentation of material fact. Measure your home, verify the data, fill out every line of that disclosure form. If you don't know the answer to it, do not guess. If you don't know, find out. Like I say in the guide, nothing will ruin your bank account faster than a lawsuit 3 years after you sold the house. And number 4, showings and safety. This is a tough one. You have to let strangers into your home, and you have to figure out if there are serious buyers or just nosy neighbors, or maybe worse. And when they are there, you have to master the art of disappearing. I call it the anti-hover protocol. I'm sure you guys have all been there. If you follow a buyer around the house, pointing out every upgrade, look at these fantastic baseboards, look at this fan, you are killing the sale. Buyers need to emotionally move in. They can't do that if you are lurking in the kitchen. They need to be able to whisper to their spouse, I hate this wallpaper, without hurting your feelings. But if you leave, who watches your valuables, your medications, other things like that? It takes skill to be present enough to ensure safety, but distant enough to allow privacy. Stash away the valuables and prescription medicines and anything that might be enticing to somebody to steal. You don't want to give them an excuse to put something in their pocket, and you don't want to have to worry about it. And number 5 is going to be the negotiation shark tank. Here is the reality check. When you sell FSBO, you attract 3 types of people. You're going to have your lowball investors. They want to pay you pennies on the dollar for cash. You're going to have your unqualified dreamers, people with bad credit who want a lease-to-own deal or some other crazy type of contract. And the last going to be your savvy buyers agents. They know exactly what they're looking for, what it's worth. And this brings us to the commission loophole. You might be selling FSBO to save 6%, but 90% of qualified buyers have an agent. That agent will likely not show your house unless you agree to pay the 3% fee. So you're doing all the work, all the marketing, the showings, the legal liability, and you're still paying 3%. Plus, statistics show FSBO homes often sell for 5 to 6% less than agent-listed homes because of exposure or negotiation issues. So you save 3% in fees but lose 6% in price. That math honestly just doesn't sit well with most people. When an investor offers you a cash deal at $50K below market value, do you have the confidence to say no? Do you know how to counter offer without losing them? Negotiation isn't just saying a number, it's holding the deal together when the inspection report comes back with 15 red flags and you have no idea what to do or how to counteract those accusations of something that might be wrong with your home. Look, selling your home yourself is possible. People do it, but it's not a weekend project. It's a second job that requires legal knowledge, marketing capital, and a very thick skin. If you have the time, the patience, and the legal savvy to navigate the disclosures, the 3-to-1 pricing, and the negotiations, go for it. Use the guide I created. It's genuinely there to help you stay safe. But if you read through the PDF and think, wow, I'd rather enjoy my time than worry about lawsuits and low appraisals, then maybe we should talk. My job is to handle the stress so you can handle the packing. Download the Is Selling FSBO Right For You guide down below. Read it, and if you decide you want a professional in your corner to protect your equity, give me a call. Remember, it's not about shrinking your life or your bank account. It's about growing the parts that actually matter. And that, my friend, is worth every square foot. And if you want to know how to price your home correctly, watch this next video I have right here. And until the next one, stay safe, everybody.